Naya, rowdy rascal. Bandit. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that at all. But since the first day that CBU motorcycles arrived in India, I've been screaming myself hoarse that what we need in India are the big nakeds. The Bandit is no ordinary naked either. It's an absolute legend. It introduced Europe to affordable performance ages ago. Every modification you can think of has been done to this motorcycle. The amount of aftermarket parts you can buy for this abroad is mind-boggling. And what makes it such an incredible platform to do all of this is that it's a brilliant, versatile motorcycle that will fit everybody's purpose. I am so stoked to be doing this test today. The Bandit story begins in the early 90s, and the motorcycle quickly leapt up the engine size and popularity charts until the 1200cc version of the motorcycle arrived and blew away sales records and created its own cult. That engine came from another great Suzuki, the GSX-R 1100, and the Bandit quickly gained a reputation for being a bit of a hooligan. The one I'm riding came out in 2007, featuring the first made-for Bandit engine, a 1255cc liquid-cooled inline 4-cylinder. How can you not love a big naked motorcycle that looks like this? That black engine hung out there for everyone to see. But what makes this such a tremendous bike is that the engine is a central part of the package. It's a smooth engine, there's power everywhere in the rev range, and in theory you could criticize it saying that the top end is not as well developed as the low and the mid range. But who are we kidding? This is India. Have you seen our roads? All you use are low and mid range. And don't forget, this is a genuine 220 kph motorcycle. I hate using cricket terms, but this is the real thing. It's an all-rounder. The Bandit used to be a proper hooligan, but this generation brought a bit of maturity. The engine makes just 99 PS, which is low for an engine this size, but that's a telling number. You see, torque is a superbike matching 108 Nm, but it comes at a super low 3750 RPM. And that's the key to the motorcycle's brand of performance. It's a silky engine and refinement is tremendous. Performance, 100 comes up in 4.35 seconds and top speed is well north of 240 kmph. We did see only 220 at the test track, but that's because we ran out of space. Internationally, the Bandit is supposed to fit in the middle of product ranges and therefore the price isn't too high and the suspension components are never top of the line. But what they are extremely well tuned. It's a stiff motorcycle by Indian standards, but compare this to all of the other CBUs and it rides really well. It handles bad roads really well, and while you notice them, you will not complain about them. You also won't complain about the seating, which is spacious and plush. About the ergonomics, which are nearly upright and comfortable for short and long trips alike. You won't complain about the handling either, because this steel double cradle is stiff enough and cornering is natural, quick and sporty without requiring the back-breaking commitment that sports bikes demand nowadays. It's a seriously accomplished package designed to excel in real-world riding. The weakest link in the Bandit package perhaps is the styling. I mean, it's a nice looking motorcycle, but it's not going to blow you away like its natural competitor, the CB1000R would, with its aggressive, stylish looks. But is that a bad thing? Yeah, I think it is. But is it a deal breaker? Oh, hell no. During our road test, we discovered that the Bandit turned out to be the least molested CBU when parked alongside other Indian motorcycles. It blends in, which has pros and cons of course. In this grey color, many people simply do not notice how big a motorcycle you're on. But the Bandit aches to be ridden. And the more you ride it, the more you want to continue to ride it. So now let's talk about what the Bandit can't do. Well, it will not do motocross, the tires are all wrong and the ground clearance is not good enough. And it will not float in that. Outside of that, I think this motorcycle will pretty much hack anything you ask for. So if you've been dreaming about that sports bike worth 14 lakh rupees for years together, save your money and get one of these in the interim. It's 8.5 lakh rupees ex showroom, and for that money, you get a tremendous amount of motorcycle. Seriously, it's a CBU, but it's also a value for money proposition. Give this motorcycle 2 years and trust me, you will not be disappointed.